Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Marvel Legend Haslab Galactus. Pow! And welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much, much appreciated. And today, I cannot quite believe it, but he is actually here. The Marvel Legends Haslab Galactus has arrived. And look how big this thing is. I've had to do a makeshift review table just like I did a year ago with the Sentinel, as this thing is massive and I needed to show it off in all its glory. Like, I'm in my attic and the roof is literally closing in on me, but I just needed to show the box art because, as I said, it's box art. It's beautiful. Love the packaging here. It is mahoosive. Let me get the tape measure real quick and show you this. So let me just see what's going on. We have got over 22 inches in width, and then in length, what have we got here? It is, look how small Hellfire Hank looks here. It is 35 inches in height. So of course, Galactus may be about that size because I'm assuming he doesn't have his crown on. So yeah, bear with me people here. I don't even know if I'm in focus. I don't even know if you can hear me. Like, this is a very shoddy review table, but there was no other way. There's no way I could have put this on a regular table. So as I said, I've made this up and let's just do it, people. Let's just go live action style and get this thing open. Genuinely not opened it yet. It's still sealed. I put Hellfire Hank on the table just for size comparisons. I don't even know if you can see him, but he's there. There he is. Tiny compared to this box. He's holding his picture frame, of course. So let's get this open. So again, this video may be a little bit sloppy. I may do some cuts and edits just to try and speed it up. I should have been like more prepared and opened this but I didn't. Let me move them out the way. I've literally got no room anywhere. And let me put this on its side. I probably should have spun the box around, shouldn't I? There's some graphics on that side. On the back, we just have like a big diorama of like space, the galaxy, the universe, which you could use as a backdrop for Galactus if you have room for this box and Galactus. Or maybe you could just cut it out and put it in a frame or something. I don't know, but this is a nice sort of display option. I'll try and take some pictures, and then on this side, again, just more mechanics. But yeah, the box art on the front with all three of the figures, because remember, I keep talking about Galactus, but we're actually getting 3 new Marvel Legends here. Well, technically, we've already got a Silver Surfer, so he's not new, but it makes sense for Silver Surfer to come with Galactus. And then we get in Frankie Reyes, aka Nova, here for the very first time in Legends form, and then Morg as well, another first time in the line. That's the one I'm most looking forward to, apart from Galactus, of course. So yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Again, this is sloppy, but it should be fun to just join me with this monster and see what we got going on. So I needed an assistant, but Amanda's not even here. I've had to get rid of Ted because he would have just barked too much with excitement. But I need to try and open or get Galactus out of this box. Woo! Okay, we're back. Okay, so I opened it up. That was a bit of a struggle on my own, like, but here it is. So it's got a big plastic case on, so there's probably a lot of glare here. But that plastic case is sort of keeping all the components in place. There is some instructions as well, because this guy comes with batteries. I think they legally have to put some disclaimers in there, and it tells you where they put the batteries. So hopefully I've got some in the house, and you need a screwdriver, so I'll have to make sure I've got them. But let's have a look. I've not looked yet. Like, I'm behind the bloody thing. Let me have a quick glance. Okay, he looks good. He looks good. There's the figures as well in the packaging. I need to sort of lie this down before everything falls, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get tied up. Again, this is the most like unprofessional Marvel Legends review ever. Not ever like I was a professional, but you know what I mean. Woo, okay, a lot of stuff. I'm going to take all of this out and put it back on the table. So before I take it out, let's just have a quick look at how it's all packed up. So first we've got the figures. There we've got Morg and his axe. Moving up to Frankie and her fire effect, which should fit in Galactus's hand, and you can see she has some interchangeable hands as well. Then we've got Silver Surfer, who is a re-release, but again, we forgive it. It makes sense with Galactus. He does come with a piece so Galactus can hold him as well. And then we've got the sort of pieces for Galactus, and we've got Silver Surfer's actual surfboard. And there we have Galactus, nicely asleep. We've got the Doom head everyone's well excited for, and the interchangeable faceplate. So there he is, nicely packaged, and now we just have to take it all out. Let's do it. So here we have everything out of the packaging, all lined up on the table, including the figures at the front here. We've got the Doom head that I jokingly said that everyone wanted. We've got the two little face plates, of course, and then we've got the sort of helmet pieces separately. Now you attach these on, they're going to give them a little bit more height. So let me move him back for a minute before we properly measure him. Now, there's no instructions of which way round these go, so I'm just going to go for it here. It sort of should look like this, and plug them in, and there we go. That's it. Are they in? They're in. Now we have Galactus. So let's not mess around and take a closer look at Galactus. Now his helmet is complete, and the peaks of his helmet take this Marvel Legend to over 32 inches tall, which make him the tallest Marvel Legend ever, not including Stiltman, of course. Now, this figure requires 4 AAA batteries to power up both the chest and the helmet. Now, 2 of them go into the back. You take off a slot on the back, and 2 of them go in, no problem at all. And then the other 2 go into the top of the helmet. Again, no stress at all. So my batteries are already in there. Let me press the button and show you how bright this guy is. So you press the blue chest here, and there you go, it lights up. Now, I'm assuming there are different features here, but I really don't know what they are. Again, I haven't read all the instructions, but they're pretty bright, to be fair. So let me just turn my lights off real quick, and you can see for yourself. That is not bad at all. You've got the glowing helmet, the glowing eyes, even the sort of crown piece has a little bit of a glow to it, as well as the chest. But I think it's pretty bright, to be fair. It will definitely stand out in a darkened room, that is for sure. So I'm really liking that. Now, in regards to head articulation, let's see what we're going on here. So we can spin his head left and spin it right. Can he look up and down? You can, not really. There is a little bit of tilt there. Let me spin him to the side so you can see. Little bit of tilt like that. That's as much as we're going to get here. But if I spin him back round, again, you're not really going to get him looking up or down, which is a shame. Maybe a bit of tilt there, but not as much motion as I would like. But undoubtedly, looks really nice. Bit of grey plastic up with the different shades of purple. The skin tone's a real nice touch as well. And just overall, aesthetically, looks really, really clean and nice. He has this sort of blue shoulder piece, which attaches to this sort of art reactor style in the middle. And then here, we've got some sort of textured sort of purple plastic as well. So it is a contrast, and it does add different dimensions and layers to the figure. He's definitely wearing like a purple underlayer with his armor on top, with some light blue punches and also dark blue punches in there to create some shadows. So yeah, the top of this figure is really nice. So let's check out these face plates. All I've done is squeeze the nose and literally pull it out, and there you go. Now he has no face or nose, but you do get options here. This other one is more of a snarling face, more of an angry expression, like he's not very happy about something, and I actually quite like this, as for me, Galactus is a villain. He's the eater of worlds, so I prefer him looking a little bit more evil and angry in a display. But we also get Zombie Galactus, or Corpse Galactus, Skeleton Galactus, Dead Galactus, whatever you want to call it. It's a very nice, evil-looking alternative compared to the other two, as you've basically got no nose there with the sort of evil-looking teeth. But I always appreciate options. It allows you to mix up and change the display on occasion. So you let me know in the comments below, as we look at all 3 of these faceplates, which one are you going to use in your display? You've got the more stoic one, the gritted angry teeth, or the Zombie Galactus, which, if I remember correctly, is from a very specific comic panel. But you can let me know in the comments below. And then last and definitely least, let's try that Doom head, shall we? So the head actually comes off pretty easy, like so. So now we have a headless Galactus, no problem at all. And then we have the Doom head, which should go on here, again, no problem. Give it a bit of a squeeze, and there we have the Doom head. If you want a giant Dr. Doom in your display, then I guess you can now have the one. There he is. I'm going to press the button to see if his eyes glow. And no, the eyes don't follow through, so it doesn't seem to be much light piping. Maybe I've not pushed it down as much, or maybe it's just not meant to happen. But yeah, his eyes don't glow even when the chest is. But there we go, a look at the Doom head. If you're the one person out there, I'm talking to you, Jesse Falcon, that wants this in their display. So I'm trying to zoom in to show you the rest of the detail throughout this figure, as it is very nicely done. It's an amalgamation of multiple Galactus designs throughout the eras, but it's more of a modern one in my eye. And for me, I'm very happy with the look. It's going to fit very beautifully into a modern Marvel Legends aesthetic. And I'm happy to report we don't have that same knee issue that we did on the Sentinel. So we're going to check that out in more detail in a second. But yeah, just one quick look at all the detail on the front here. This whole sort of middle sort of bout piece is a separate sort of overlay, so it's not going to hinder the leg articulation. And loads of the plastic does have loads of textured detail, and all the colours are nicely separated as well. There's no bleeding, no sloppiness. So yeah, all in all, very happy. So let's check out these knees, shall we? So literally, let's give them a bend. Can you hear the ratchets? So they are really strong, to be fair, and you can see his knee is holding its place. If I move the leg up, you're going to have to move it at the thigh. Now, I said that this is a separate piece and it won't hinder, but it will because the plastic's so thick. So you can see I've bent his knee there, and again, the ratchets are so loud, but his thigh, like, you can't really push him up at the thigh. I'm trying there. There is a swivel there under the thigh, which is good to know. Like, there's a thigh swivel like you would on any Marvel Legend. And the knees, as I said, you can hear the ratchets. I think they've made a point of the knees, to be fair. I'm trying to see if he's got double jointed knees. They're single jointed, obviously, but they do go pretty deep, to be fair. That's not bad. He ain't going to be kicking his own arse, though. There is an ankle pivot as well, which is nice. I've only just noticed that. So there is a ankle pivot. Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell, you can hear that, can't you? There's an ankle pivot. There is a bit on his shoe that lifts up out the way, so you do get full range of the ankle pivot, which seems pretty strong. I'm using quite a bit of force to get it to bend. I like that separate piece so it doesn't hinder the foot articulation, actually, so you'll be able to get him in some more dynamic poses. But yeah, I do think this skirt piece initially is going to limit how far forward his legs go. If you lift the skirt piece out of the way a little bit, you can get his leg quite far forward, so you could get him into some big stepping poses. So again, I do think those knee issues from the Sentinel are gone, and that is going to be the big concern for a lot of people. He will stand up. As you can hear, all the joints are nice and tight, and he will stand up, and he doesn't feel like he's going to fall and topple over. Like, he feels quite strong under his own weight. Like, there you go. He sort of wobbled, but he's okay. So let's check out the arms. Now, just like the knees, there are going to be loud sort of ratchety sounds as you start bending him, but there is articulation points at the shoulder, at the bicep, and at the elbow, of course. So let me lift the shoulder up. So as you can see, the shoulders will go to, like, not quite 90, but they will go out quite a bit, to be fair. There's also a bicep swivel, so you can twist it at the bicep like you would a normal Marvel Legend. And then the elbows will go up to 90. Now, they are double jointed, but the sort of the thick gauntlets around his wrists that go all the way up his sort of forearm will limit how far up his shoulders will go, or elbows will go. So you're going to get about 90. So Galactus can now wave at everyone. Say hello, Galactus. Hello, everyone. So there's that. So as I said, let me spin that. And of course, you can sort of lift the arm up, but I'm scared. Like, see what I mean? If I lift it up here, it's going to pop this armor piece off up top. So you really got to be careful that the bicep doesn't get caught under this sort of armor piece on the chest, because I've just seen it here about to sort of peel apart at that seam on the shoulder. So yeah, I do think the armor pieces throughout his body, because all of it is attached in weird ways, it's like a harness that's attached all over, is going to limit how much his sort of waist and his sort of diaphragm moves, because it seems like there's a diaphragm cut. It seems like there's a bit of wiggle, like left and right there, but I'm too scared to bend or twist anything out. So my Galactus is just going to stay standing and imposing. Now, his wrist does have a hinge there, as you can see, so you can sort of get his wrist going forward and back, and then all of the fingers have articulation in all the points your normal hand does. So the thumb can bend and go in, and then all the hands can sort of go in to sort of clench up and form a fist. So I'm assuming he'll be able to hold a Marvel Legend with this grip as well. Okay, but how do we get the effect pieces that come with the figures to grip into Galactus's hand? Now, it's hard to break down in words, so you're just going to have to watch the video, okay? So see the wave, make sure the wave is facing Galactus, and you get the hand. See this finger, twist it to that side. So you've got 3 fingers separated from that one finger, and you want this break in the plastic to go in the crack of that finger, okay? So 3 fingers there, 1 finger there, and you want to go hooking it like so around the fingers. So as I said, 3 fingers there, 1 finger around there, gripping it tightly, and now he's got a nice firm grip of the effect piece. As you can see, you can hold it, you can bend it. Now we just need Silver Surfer. Now I probably explained that terribly, but hopefully the camera gave you a better look. It definitely grips on there. And what I didn't notice at first is there's actually a ball joint at the end of this effect piece, so you can sort of twist and bend this as well. And there's a peg in the surfboard that pegs into the foot of Silver Surfer. And to be honest, it's pretty tight, definitely tighter than previous versions. And he's standing there on his own with no glue tack or anything. And it looks good. Here we have Frankie's effect piece. And again, I could be doing this completely wrong. I don't know. But this is the way I'm going to do it. See the two little sort of teeth bits there? I'm going to put those into the wrist. So they squeeze onto the wrist. And then the hands will grip around the flame. And that way she's going to be standing forward as well. So it makes more sense when the figure's in there. But there you go. It grips that like so. And there we have Galactus holding Frankie Reyes, aka Nova. And there is actually a peg hole for her foot in this effect piece. And then the fire also wraps round her leg, really gripping onto that one leg tight, so you can articulate the rest of her body no problem at all. So now Galactus can hold two of his heralds in his hands using those effect pieces. And it really does turn this into an epic display piece, as those figures instantly pop. And because they're both really contrasting colours to the Galactus, they stand out a lot as well. The third herald of Galactus we get in this set is of course Morg, but I'm going to do a full video for these three so I can really do these figures justice. I'll do full comparisons to any previous versions, and I'll get out all of our Marvel Legends heralds to see who we actually have left to add to the collection. But this figure looks epic. But yes, stick around on the channel for a separate video taking a look at these three figures. And here we have the comparison I was most interested in seeing. It is of course the Marvel Legends Haslab Sentinel compared to our brand new Marvel Legends Haslab Galactus. Now these are two epic pieces and additions to our Marvel Legends displays. Not only are they great representations of the specific characters from the Marvel Universe, they're also in scale with a lot of our Marvel Legends, which makes them epic for the collection. Now, Galactus, of course, can change his scale in the comics, but even in figure form, he's bigger than the Sentinel. And it's not just his head and his helmet that makes him tower above the Sentinel. If you look at his shoulder height is much bigger than the Sentinel, which means his whole body in proportion is just bigger and chunkier than the Sentinel. So yeah, you think this guy's big. So if you've got the Sentinel in your display right now and you think he's big, then just wait until you get Galactus. Start clearing that real estate because look at these two. They're great. And to be honest, they both love purple and pink and blue. They're very on theme, ain't they, to be honest? Maybe I'm tempting fate by spinning these to the side, but I just wanted to show you and sort of help ease any concerns about the Galactus having the same sort of knee issues that the Sentinel did. Now, to be fair, I got lucky. My Sentinel stands up pretty fine, but even he does lean forward or back a little bit. But I have had him on display for about a year holding figures, so I'm sure that offsets the balance. But if you just look at Galactus, how straight he is standing, absolutely no issues at all. And there's more articulation on this Galactus than I initially thought. There's articulation, there's swivel at the actual sort of wrist gauntlet here. So there's swivel there at the wrist, and there's also a boot swivel as well, which I didn't notice either. So there's a lot of articulation hidden within the proportions of Galactus that can sort of help tip the scales and make sure he's balancing and standing straight. But I have no concerns having these two standing next to each other. There's going to be any type of domino effect unless I give them a push, which I'm not going to do. I'm well aware that this is a ridiculous comparison, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has helped me add some legs to my Stiltman, because Stiltman still holds the record for being the tallest Marvel Legend in my collection. Now, granted, he wobbles a bit to the left or the right, but as you can see, he's taller than Galactus. Haha, take that, Galactus. Here we have another random comparison just to give you a sense of scale. So here we have a handful of different sized Marvel Legends villains, as we've got Magneto, the Build-A-Figure Apocalypse, this brand new exclusive Mojo, and then we've got Null as well. All of those are different proportions and different scales, but every single one of them look tiny in comparison to Galactus. Remember, I'm going to do a separate video taking a closer look at all the Galactus heralds we have in our Marvel Legends collection to see if we can build an epic cosmic display. So keep an eye out for that. But you know I'm not getting out of here without bringing in the Who crew. So last but never least, here we have White Rabbit, Frogman, Tigra, Captain Britain, and Hal, Fire, Hank. Final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Haslab Galactus. What can I say? I did not expect to be reviewing this today. I didn't even expect to be getting Galactus in the month of October, but here we are. We got told November. I was expecting this to be underneath my Christmas tree, a present from my past self, but here he is in his glory, and I tell you people, he is epic. He is honestly overwhelming, so I'm sure I didn't get to every single detail in this review today, but I did just want to give you an overlook and sort of share my first thoughts and reactions with you as I open him up and have a look at him on the table, on my very makeshift review table. As I keep mentioning, I will do a separate video taking a closer look at all the individual figures, and we'll start to build our Heralds of Galactus display. But yeah, the figure itself is epic, undoubtedly probably the best Marvel Legend ever, full stop. Time will tell, but right now, yeah, he's what we wanted. He's what we expected. I do think a few ACBA people out there may be a little bit frustrated with some of the limitations on this big figure. But for me, you know, for me, it's all about world building and adding those new characters to the shelf. And to add Galactus that looks like my mind's eye of Galactus in a collection, in scale, that's what it's all about for me. And like the fact that you can hold his heralds with those display pieces are just a nice touch. And yeah, what can I say? I'm happy, but I'm in a good mood because Galactus arrived today. Hopefully, my friends in the US, it arrives sooner rather than later. But this was just as much as a surprise to me as it was to you, trust me. But as always, if you like what you see here, then please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. Hit the notification bell. Don't miss out on a video. And please hit that join button. Become a channel member. Either show some love or join the members club. Honestly, come and join me on a live stream and come and talk some toys. It is as simple as that. Support the channel and beyond the channel. It's a magical thing. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram, where I've been posting loads of pictures of this. It's Dan Who. And I'm on Twitter as well, at Dan Who Reviews. Tweet me, don't be shy. And as always, my name is Dan W. And I'm sure this won't be the last time I do a Galactus video. I will see you on the next one.